Do I buy now or wait? Because here's the loop. Bitcoin rips green and you feel late. Bitcoin turns red and you feel stupid having bought too early. Because of that trauma, somehow you end up doing nothing. And honestly, people don't fail Bitcoin. They fail the decision making around Bitcoin. But there's a solution. Later on, I'll show you how to make your life easier and less stress. And also, I show you how I personally go about buying Bitcoin. Also, this is financial education and entertainment, not financial advice. You're in charge of your own decisions, so always do your own research before buying any Bitcoin. Now let's be real about what you're signing up for with Bitcoin. Bitcoin can drop 20-40% fast, as we've seen in recent times. The news is loud, the candle's red, and you're thinking, did I just ruin my life with one purchase? Or worse, did I just miss the biggest chance of my life? I've trained myself to keep calm, but I know it's not easy. If you've ever felt your stomach drop on a big red day and you felt like selling all your Bitcoin, or felt the itch to dump all your savings into Bitcoin when it's ripping upward, that's the whole problem. Because most people swing between two extreme reactions. Reaction 1, panic waiting. I'll pass, I'll buy later when it feels safe. But the problem is, it never feels safe, so you never buy. Reaction 2, FOMO buying, which can be just as bad. It's like, I'll just buy everything now before it goes higher. And somehow that's the week it tops out and you're instantly stressed. That's how people end up with the worst combo: anxiety and constant second guessing. Many people get so anxious because they don't have a strategy. They keep questioning every move. Did I buy too late? Should I sell? Should I buy more? With that kind of panicky mindset, you'll never build conviction and worse, never build up a strong position that matters. And as you can guess, there's an easy solution to this. Instead of reinventing your strategy every single day, simply dollar cost average. I'm sure most of you know about the concept of DCAing, but yet there are still tons of people hesitant to use it. And here are some objections.
DCA sounds too rigid and boring. If you do it, you'll miss the best entry and you'll feel dumb later.
But here's the thing, DCA isn't one strict method. DCA, dollar cost averaging, is a category of strategies that all share one goal, which is to reduce the damage that your emotions do to your timing. So instead of thinking DCA or lump sum, I have to pick one forever, I want you thinking, what system makes me most likely to actually stick with Bitcoin long enough to matter? One important goal with Bitcoin or any other investment is to build a position. By that, I mean gradually owning more and more over time until you reach an amount that actually matters. Something big enough to make a real difference to your future and not just being able to say, I technically own some. And DCA, dollar cost averaging, is a strategy that reliably helps you with that. It basically means to buy a certain dollar amount on a schedule, regardless of price. That's the key, guys, buying regardless of price. So the simplest version of DCA might be buy $25 worth of Bitcoin every Friday, or $100 worth of Bitcoin every payday, or $10 daily. And there's nothing magical about doing this. What's magical is what it replaces. So DCA replaces guessing with a system. And I get it, guessing feels productive, but all it does is just create decision fatigue, where in the end, you let your emotions take over. And I know it sounds boring and almost too simple, but that's the point. With many things in life, boring and consistent beats brilliant and inconsistent. I know you want to see the numbers. Proof that DCAing actually wins over winging it, guessing, and trying to time the market for the best possible entry. For that, I found this awesome DCA calculator online for Bitcoin dollar cost average. Thanks so much to the person building this, by the way. Let's do this. We'll take the same time frame, same amount of total dollars. And the only difference is how you buy. DCA versus lump sum. Imagine you had $5,200 and invested it in a lump sum, all in one day, let's say on November 10th, 2021. This would be a time that many would regard as one of the worst entry points back then. At a price of around $60,000 something per Bitcoin, you would have acquired 0.07756 something BTC. In today's value, as per February 28th, 2026, that would be $7,157, which represents a return on investment of about 38%. Not too bad. But what if instead you took the same $5,200 and invested fractions of it weekly? Over the same time frame, that would come down to around $23 per week. Not a ton of money, barely your 5 cups of Starbucks or whatever coffee you're drinking these days. See here, the total amount invested is almost $5,200 as well. Using this DCA strategy, you would have ended up with $11,821 instead, in February 2026 as well, which would be a return on investment of 128%. That is about 3 times the return you would have made using the lump sum strategy. Yeah, so this is the nightmare scenario people worry about, buying at the top. If you go lump sum on what happens to be a peak day, you're all in at the exact wrong moment. But when you DCA throughout the years, something changes. You buy some at the highs, yes, but you also buy through the messy, lower prices later. Your average entry tends to land lower than the single worst entry day. And of course, I can already see some objections in the comments. You might say that I picked dates to make DCA look good. Granted, there are all types of different scenarios you could run this test on, and I'm not going to go through all of them in this video, but we could do this test for different days and throughout a full cycle, and still DCA would come out on top. Maybe I'll do more scenarios in another video. This is just one example that shows how powerful dollar cost averaging can be. And sure, in many full cycle windows, lump sum can win if your lump sum happens right before a big run. Lump sum can outperform if the price mostly rises soon after you buy, because all your money is in from day one. But it basically requires a crystal ball, and nobody has one. If you have one, I'd be really interested to know. Even those who claim to know exactly when the next Bitcoin bottom will be, you might do one lump sum transaction in a year and win, but it's likely because you got lucky. If you'd shifted your start date a couple of months earlier or later, same end date, and you'll often see the outcome flip fast. That's timing risk. And timing risk is exactly what beginners underestimate. For those who don't want that risk, DCA often narrows the gap and reduces the odds you pick a terrible day to go all in. So here's the takeaway. DCA keeps you stress-free and gives you a better chance of sticking with Bitcoin long enough to win. Now let's get practical. Earlier I talked about how some people find dollar cost averaging to be an inflexible strategy. So let's debunk this and let me show you your options. Here are a few DCA styles. One you could call classic DCA. This means you buy exactly the same amount on a fixed schedule. That could be every day or every week, every 2 weeks, and so on. For example, you buy $10 worth of Bitcoin each day or $100 each week. There's no questioning at all, so this is the easiest. You could also do something like a schedule flex DCA. Here, the schedule is the same. Let's say you buy every week or every 2 weeks, but each time the amount is slightly different. Because hey, real life happens. It has bills, groceries, and surprise dentist visits. So let's say 1 week you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, but the next week you feel you can only do $75. That's okay. The point is that you're still investing an amount somewhat close to that amount regardless of price. That's still dollar cost averaging in my book. Then you can also do something called dynamic DCA, and here it gets much more flexible. This means you do have a schedule, daily, weekly, or even bi-weekly, but although you have a baseline amount you want to buy, let's say that's $200 each week, good for you if you can do that, you adjust your exact amounts based on market conditions. So during dips, you buy a bit above average, let's say you make it $300, and when the price goes up, you buy slightly less, say $150. And frankly, you can set up your own strategy, whatever works for you. Personally, I do a type of dynamic DCA, but very loosely. I try to buy Bitcoin about 2 to 3 times a week if I can, in small amounts, depending on my income. As a self-employed content creator, you can imagine my income fluctuates quite a lot, and also price fluctuations. So when the price drops, I might buy $100 more or so than usual. When it goes up, perhaps I only buy once instead of twice. But overall, I have a rough budget, so to speak, for how much Bitcoin I want to buy every month. Now that's just me, how I like to do it. But just in case you're someone who likes to keep it super simple, then perhaps classic DCA works better for you. And there are actually tools out there that make it super easy for you to stick with it and keep stacking. Most exchanges that sell Bitcoin have some kind of feature called recurring buys or automated investing or a similar term like that. Just as an example, if you're in Canada like me, there's NDAX. It has this feature called Auto Invest, with which you can set a recurring purchase schedule, daily, weekly, monthly, and a dollar amount, and then it will execute automatically for you. In case that's for you, you can earn a $10 bonus with my affiliate link down below. Note that I may earn a small commission if you use it. But if you prefer buying Bitcoin directly into your cold wallet, something I also do, in Canada, for example, you can use platforms like Beaver Bitcoin. They have a recurring buy feature. That's a no-brainer. It lets you dollar cost average on autopilot. You set your amount and frequency, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and it automates the process to deliver Bitcoin to your wallet setup. Now, if this is your first time dollar cost averaging, here's a simple starter checklist. First, pick a schedule. Weekly or bi-weekly is great, daily is a stretch, but if you have the funds, why not? Second, pick a rough monthly amount you want to invest. Let's say that's $500 per month, and then divide it across how many times a month you want to invest. If that's weekly, then set the amount to roughly $125, or depending on what kind of DCA strategy you want to apply. Lastly, stick to it. At first, it may feel weird when you don't just react when the market goes crazy and try to restrain your emotions, but after a while, you'll get used to having this calm and centeredness. And if you're really tickled, you can always do some dynamic DCAing, but at least you got some kind of strategy and are less tempted to just lump sum emotionally. Now guys, I want to hear from you. Are you team lump sum or team DCA? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, 1 Bitcoin sounds huge, but when you think about it, 1 Bitcoin is just 100 million sats. You don't need to buy a whole coin at once. For the price of a cappuccino or a latte, you can stack thousands of sats each day until one day you're at a whole Bitcoin. Now, if you want more beginner-friendly Bitcoin videos like this one, then consider subscribing and turn that little bell on to all notifications. And if you're still doubting Bitcoin itself, watch my Why Bitcoin video next.